Thank you, Senator Cruder. And Chairman Hunt, members of the committee, good morning, and thank you for the opportunity to speak in support of SJM 8002. My name is Martin Tallarico, and I live in West Seattle in the 34th LD. I currently run an online jewelry business with my husband, Patrick, who lost his job due to COVID, and I've been an enthusiastic supporter of this memorial for many years. I've come to the Capitol many times to advocate, and this isn't my first time testifying in support of this legislation. You might ask why I care so much about this. Well, I used to be an investment banker, and I worked for 30 years for firms in Seattle and one owned by a big bank. And through that, I gained a keen understanding of established power. I've experienced firsthand how heartless big banks can be and how entrenched and dismissive big banks can be towards any interests other than their own. Also, from being on the front line, I've come to understand that it's not that big banks are too big to fail. They are, in all actuality, too big to manage. And it was no surprise that when the pandemic hit, the powerful had their bailout prioritized while so many small businesses lost out and have since struggled and failed. How many more will fail is anyone's guess. On a brighter note, in 2016, Washington voters voted in support of I-735, as Senator Hasegawa had mentioned and Sam Brown had questioned and stated, which is an amendment principle like what's described in SJM 8002. And I-735 passed by nearly 26-point margin. Campaign finance reform is an issue, an idea that gets consistently overwhelming support from Americans of every political affiliation. It speaks to an understanding that we all share, that we are dominated by an election system that gives disproportionate power and influence to the wealthy. An amendment would protect congressional and state reform from being picked apart by the Supreme Court, but I believe it would do much more. It would be transformational to the spirit of not only Washingtonians, but the great majority of Americans. It would be a symbol that someone in power, like you all, are listening to the people and that change in our system supported by the people can actually be done. I particularly want to thank Senator Cruder and Senator Hunt for authorizing this bill, but I also very much want to thank Senator Hasegawa for his contributions. His suggestions, such as the nullification clause that would immediately nullify the legislation if a convention went off topic, makes the legislation much more robust. It's my greatest hope that this committee will once again favorably report this legislation and that in this pivotal year of 2021, when the need has never been greater, the Washington legislature will finally pass this critical step towards reform. Thank you very much.